right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Mayam coming at you from GMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakha HaKodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and sincerity. And I just want to do a quick update, quick live, breaking news. You got this earthquake that just took place out there in Russia, off the coast of Russia. It was out in the ocean. And it was one of the strongest recorded, earthquakes in that region. All right, I believe it was it went up as far as 8.8 magnitude. At first, initially, they had it as 8.0, but as more data was coming in, they brought up the scale of the earthquake to an 8.8. And that's a catastrophic level. As a matter of fact, let me just type in here Richter. The Richter scale goes up to 9. Okay, so this thing was it goes up to 10. It says the Richter scale developed in 1935 by American seismologist Charles Richter and Bino Gutenberg is a logarithmic scale that measures the magnitude of earthquakes from 1 to 10. It was originally designed to measure, blah, blah, blah. But, all right, so it goes up to a 10.0, which 8.8 is damn near the top. Okay, which that's a strong ass earthquake. Okay, and it's less common for for an earthquake to be at that particular level. Okay, it's really rare for you to see that. Okay, so they have, they have put out, so-called, tsunami warnings, to Japan, to Hawaii, and other places out there in Russia as well. Which Brother Asha sent out a video of tsunami, some tsunami effects out there in Russia, with some water coming up on shore, which it doesn't look like it's anything too dramatic or anything like that. But nonetheless, the point being of all this, okay, is the Heavenly Father, is drawing nigh. Okay, the Heavenly Father is causing things to happen on this earth that are of biblical proportions, as a lot of newscasters and a lot of these doomsday preppers, on YouTube put it. Things happening of biblical proportions, man. These earthquakes are getting worse and worse and more frequent. Okay, you have earthquakes taking place hundreds at a time per day. Okay, and there's definitely something going on as we speak, concerning these earthquakes, that are happening all over the earth, all right, including here in America. You have a lot of things, taking place with animals, out in Yellowstone, where they're walking in herds and leaving Yellowstone. You had those bears, a couple weeks back. Okay, that were all, walking in packs, and normally bears don't do that. Bears ain't just walking around casually in groups like that, but they're walking down streets, okay, in these huge groups, like almost as if they were migrating or heading out for danger. Okay, because animals to a certain extent have a deeper connection with the Heavenly Father. They're, so to say, more in tune with the Spirit, because they react to the signals that the Heavenly Father is sending through the earth. All right, signals such as earthquakes and seismic vibrations that that to a certain extent we don't even feel. Okay, but again, these are all signs that the Heavenly Father is getting ready to send Yahushai. All right, and it's high time to wake up out of sleep for a lot of you Israelites, man. Okay, because the Heavenly Father is getting ready to come back to see who to see if he finds faith on the earth, to see who believes on him. Okay? And that's the only way you're going to be justified in the eyes of the Heavenly Father, man, is through your faith. And again, you show your faith by your works, by how you conduct yourself, how you carry yourself, the things that you do for the Heavenly Father. Okay? Specifically concerning the ministry, to spreading his word, because his word is what matters. That's the only thing that matters in this world, is the word of the Lord, because his word is bond. Okay? Nothing else on this earth holds any value next to the words of the Heavenly Father. Not gold, not silver, not rubies. Okay? Nothing can stand next to the word of the Heavenly Father, and be mated with it, as the scriptures say. Nothing on this earth can stand next to it. But this is Salakia, wrong book. And bear with me as I do this in transit. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And we've gone over these verses, man. All right, we've gone over and over and over and over these verses to the point to where we shouldn't have to really break down these scriptures anymore, man, in the sense of having to explain what particular scriptures mean, because we've gone through them. Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and the way you measure the times is through the words of the Heavenly Father. All right, through the scriptures. Okay, using the prophecy. That's the measuring tool. But guess what? The measuring tool, okay, and the understanding of how to use it has only been given onto a select men, the workmen, the laborers that have been hired to work on this, on this field, which is the world, okay, to do the bidding of the Lord. To warn the world and to warn the Israelites that the Heavenly Father is getting ready to come back to the earth to bring heavy judgment. And this is what you see. This is why you see people killing each other and dying, and earthquakes happening and floods and all types of heat waves and madness happening on earth, because the Lord is sending a sign that he's getting ready to bring an ultimate judgment, something far greater than all these things that you see taking place, man. You're supposed to see these things that are currently taking place and prepare yourself for what's to come. Because the day of the Lord, as the scriptures say, is darkness and not light. Okay? It says, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the Lord has been visiting the earth. Okay, the Lord has sent his angels to come and to observe what's taking place out here, to see, hey, the Lord did this. He's sending these signs on the earth. Who's taking heed? Who's preparing themselves? Who's calling on the Lord to be delivered from these things that are taking place and from the things that will take place? All right. Says verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And the Lord has, he spoke these things in the beginning, because his word, okay, which is Yahushai, John 1 and 1, okay, was there in the beginning. All these things that we see taking place today were established in the beginning of creation. Before there ever was anything, this word was there. Okay? This decree was there. That's why the word of the Heavenly Father is precious, man. It's on the tip of my tongue. I guess to put it, frankly, not easily understood, because this is an ancient understanding, and it's something that it wasn't given unto everybody to understand what's taking place. That's why you and Yahweh Shai, who the world inwardly calls Jesus, okay, told the disciples it, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Only the prophets, the men of the Lord, have been given an understanding of what is going to happen. Okay? Because we were there with Yahweh Shai in the beginning. Okay? Before the foundations of the earth, with Yahweh Shai. Okay? We were given unto him to build what we see today, to build upon the decree that was given. Okay? And we understand very well what is taking place on the earth, man. All these things, all these little earthquakes and, you know, natural disasters that we see taking place. All these things are a sign that the Heavenly Father is here, man. That the end is here. Let's get that in Ezekiel chapter 7. Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 6, it says, "An end is come." Well, I also start at verse 1. Ezekiel 7 and 1. "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Also, thou son of man, thus saith the Lord power unto the land of Israel, an end is come upon the four corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee." See, and so the prophets who've been given the understanding, the secrets of the Heavenly Father have been revealed unto. We've received the understanding of the end, of the signs to watch out for, to understand, to know. Okay, look, we're nigh at the door. Okay, and so like we've been sent out to the world to let the people know that the end is here. That the Lord is angry with the wicked. Okay? And that includes you Israelites as well, man. Who walk around and think that everything's hunky-dory. That society is just doing wonderful. Hey, to the eyes of the people of this world, society is doing wonderful. Yeah, sure. But you're not paying attention to what's happening, you know, outside of your little bubble. Because that's what Esau Edom, the devil, wants you to do. He don't want you to see outside of your bubble. He wants you focused on what you see in front of you, and don't pay attention to anything else. That's why they teach that whole YOLO lifestyle, that only be concerned about yourself spirit, instead of worrying about what's taking place on the earth. Because if people focused on the things outside of their own little bubble, they would see that life ain't really that great out here, man. It may seem as though it is, but it's just the world is actually just dressed nicely, but it's terrible inside, man. What's actually taking place is not looking good. Okay? It says, I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And this is what the world is getting ready to experience, is the judgment according to the abominations that is worked. And the scriptures tell you that the earth is destroyed because of the inhabitants thereof, man. Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 tells you, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." Woe means destruction. The majority of the people on the earth live a wicked life. They think they know something, but they really don't. Especially these damn Christians, man. And they think they know the Lord. They think they have a relationship with the Heavenly Father, but they don't know a damn thing. They know God according to how the world teaches them. Okay? That's what they think they know, what the world has taught them. But they don't know that the Heavenly Father is a power that judges. Okay? It says, verse 4, "And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. Thus saith the Lord power, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. So that's all that you see that's come here onto the earth, man. Evil, bad times. Okay, let's look up the etymology of that word evil real fast. Evil, Old English, bad, vicious, ill, wicked. Okay. It says in Old English and other older Germanic languages other than Scandinavian, the word is the most comprehensive objectival expression of disapproval, dislike, or disparagement. Evil was the word the Anglo-Saxons used where we would use bad. See, bad times. Cruel, unskillful, defective, harm, crime, misfortune, disease. See, misfortune is coming upon the earth to the majority of you people. Right now, you think you're living it good, but as the scriptures say, though judgment against is against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of men is setting them to do evil. You know, roughly paraphrasing that Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verses 11 and 12. Okay, but evil and only evil is come. Bad times. Okay. Continuing on in Ezekiel 7, verse 6, it says, the end is come, it watches for thee, behold, it is come. See, the end, the prophecies that are set to take place here on the earth are watching you people, man. So to say. Okay, the Heavenly Father is watching you people, and he's seeing that y'all ain't getting ready. You ain't preparing yourself. So the Lord is going to come and get you like a thief in the night, man. He's going to surprise your ass. And you're going to be caught with the okie doke. Because this world has promised you peace and safety, but the Lord didn't promise you no peace and safety, man. Yahweh Shai, who the world literally calls Jesus Christ, told you that, man. All right. Matthew chapter 10 and 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. See? So who the hell promised you peace and safety? The devil. The nigga who wherever he goes, death follows. That's who promised you peace and safety. Because it wasn't the Lord. The Lord told you judgment was going to come. The Lord told you that evil and only evil is come. Okay? That's why you gotta keep an eye out on these people who talk about some damn peace and safety. That things are gonna be okay, that there ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble. That things are gonna continue as they were from the beginning. That you gotta be careful for people like that. Because they're leading your ass astray, because the Heavenly Father promised death and destruction. The Heavenly Father never said anything about, hugs and kisses and good times coming, man. The good times will come, but first there must be judgment that's going to be brought upon the earth, man. Okay? And that's why we see these things taking place the way we see them happening. Okay? It says, I'll read that again. Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. See, Esau Edom is scrambling to try to figure out how to keep things in order right now on the earth, so that he can, bring about what he's trying to bring on the earth. He's trying to hold things together so he can bring his agenda out, but the Lord is allowing him to do what he's doing, man. But you ain't gonna be able to continue to kick this can down the road, because the Lord is putting it in the spirit of these leaders of this earth to bring about the destruction either way. That's the funny part. Okay? But yeah, man, this isn't anything to just wink at, man. Okay? This isn't something to just forget about, these things that we see happening. This is something to pay attention to and prepare for, because it's only going to get worse. The Heavenly Father promised a time like no other. Yahweh Shai spoke about a time like no other that was to come onto the earth. And guess what? There's been earthquakes. There's been uproars of the people time and time again, right? Where's this time that's going to be like no other? Where is it if it already came? It hasn't. So that tells you that it's still to come. And those days are drawing nigh, man. Again, I quoted it earlier. It is high time to wake up out of sleep, man. The day of the Lord is approaching. And we almost out of here, man. Okay? We are almost out of this fucking world, man. Hey, man, these things couldn't come any quicker. we dying to see this place crumble, man. Those of us that have faith in the Heavenly Father, man, we're hastening onto the day. And how do we hate? We crying out unto the Lord. Okay, we preparing ourselves. We cheering these things on, man. When we see these earthquakes and mass people die, and people plow through a whole crowd of people, we cheer these things on because we understand that it's all leading up to the day of the Heavenly Father, man. That's why we cheer these things on. People will look at you some type of way, but they don't understand. It's not so much that we like to see these things, people die and shit like that. But we understand that these people dying left and right is a sign that we're drawing closer and closer to the day of the Lord. Because that time, like no other, will come, guaranteed. Guarantee you that day is going to come. And it's going to be so bad. Like Trump, it's so bad. It's just going to be like nothing that has ever been seen before. And there ain't going to be a damn thing you can do about it, man. But just be humbled by it. That's why we humbling ourselves now, so that we don't have to be humbled. We don't have to, these judgments that are going to come upon the earth, we don't want those things to bow our necks. We want to bow our necks willingly, so that we may be passed over. Because if not, then the Heavenly Father will bow your damn neck. He will make you bow the knee. Forcefully, man. Okay? So, hey, Lord's with us is edifying. I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and its truth and sincerity. With that, I say Shalom.